So, welcome back to the channel. A couple of subscribers have asked me how I made such fast progress in the last couple of months. So I decided to make a video on this. So if that sounds interesting, let's hop into it. Before we start, I want to do a quick disclaimer because I'm not the person that makes the fastest progress in the world. There are a lot of people that make faster progress, but all the tips I'm going to tell you guys are from my own experience, so hopefully they will help you. But I think if you incorporate one of them at least, you'll get much more progress. So with that having said, let's start with the first tip, which is warm-up. I see a lot of people neglecting their warm-up. Not only does a proper warm-up prevent injuries, it also gets you stronger during your workouts. A good warm-up is essential for fast progress. When your body is properly warmed up, your body is ready for all the big skills you're gonna do in your workout, such as planche, Maltese, front lever, Victorian, and so on. The way I personally do my warm-up is as follows. The first thing I do is get my heart rate up. This stimulates the blood flow. I do this by doing 2 minutes of jump roping, followed with some movements to get the muscles smooth. Then I get a 5 to 10 kilo resistance band and start to get the muscles, tendons and ligaments ready. After the 5 to 10 kilo resistance band, I do the same but with a heavier band, which is a 15 to 20 kilo. And after that, I do some progressions for front lever and planche to get my body really ready for the exercises to come. After this warm-up routine, I'm at the peak of my strength. The injuries are way less because my body is properly warmed up and I'm ready to do all the big calisthenics skills. Moving on to tip number 2, which is conditioning. One of the best things I've done personally to get some pretty advanced calisthenics exercises is conditioning. Conditioning is basically getting your body ready for the future big skill without doing them or doing them assisted. You can do this for almost every calisthenics skill, but for me it helped the most with Victorian, Maltese, planche and planche presses. For example, for Maltese I did a lot of Zanetti dumbbell presses. I also like to do Maltese with resistance bands. The beautiful thing about conditioning is when you want to learn a skill but you're not yet ready or strong enough to do it yet, you can already start to train your body to get adapted to that certain stress or pressure under that skill. It is very important to understand that your muscles adapt way quicker than your ligaments and tendons. So if you want to learn Maltese, it's a good way to start with Zanetti dumbbell presses or doing Maltese leans assisted. This way your tendons and ligaments can slowly adapt to the pressure and stress, causing way less injuries and getting stronger in those certain moves at the same time. Depending on how you choose to adapt your body, for example doing it with resistance bands, this way you can already start to feel your body position during the skill. For example, if you want to learn Maltese, a good way is to do it assisted because that way you can already start to feel the positioning during the Maltese, which is really helpful for if you're gonna do it without assistance. After a couple weeks or months from conditioning, your ligaments and tendons are adapted and you can start really attempting the skill without having to stress about injuries because now your body is adapted, it is ready for the skill and you can start to do some attempts. This way it's a very safe way to progress, so definitely try out conditioning. Moving on to tip number 3, which is a good workout program. If you have good trainings and being consistent but you're still not making progress, then it's a good possibility that you have a poor training program. A good training program is crucial for making fast progress. With a good training program, you can gradually make the exercises, reps or sets harder. The key element to a good training program is progressive overload. Progressive overload is this method of strength training that advocates for a gradual increase of stress upon the placed muscles or nervous system. You can do this by making the exercises, for example progressions, or changing up the frequency or intensity. This way you can make small changes to your program which causes fast progress. Making a good training program for yourself is a trial and error journey. But over time you get to know your body and knows how it adapts to certain changes, and this way you can make a good training program. And that good training program will lead to fast and good progress. And tip number 4 is consistency. I think this one speaks for itself, but I still incorporate it in this. Consistency is one of the most important things. If you're not being consistent with your training programs, you cannot expect fast and good progress. The golden principle I learned is if you train once a week, you decrease. If you train twice a week, you stay at the same level. If you train 3 times a week, you are getting progress. Of course, it's not that black and white because there are a lot of factors that get you progress, but overall it's a good principle to have in the back of your mind. So stay consistent. And tip number 5, which is the last one, is proper technique. You can't even imagine how many half reps I've seen people do in the parks, which leads to just not fast progress. It's always better to do full range of motion because you will get stronger overall in the whole movement. Doing half reps doesn't get you anywhere. Personally, I think it has to do with ego, because a lot of people, for example, can do 4 normal full range of motion pull-ups, so they choose to do 8 reps but with half range of motion, just so that their ego is not hurt. In my opinion, this is just stupid, because you will get way stronger if you do full range of motion always. For basic elements, it's not that dangerous if you don't have a proper technique, but for example, if you want to do big skills such as Maltese, planche, Victorian and so on, not having a proper technique can be very dangerous. I have experienced this firsthand. I was doing a Maltese. I thought I could do a Maltese, even though deep down I knew inside I didn't have the proper technique, and I still went ahead and did the Maltese and I injured my wrist. I've regret that moment a lot. I think it's been 7 months and it's still affecting my training, and I've been to several surgeons and doctors, and they said I could probably feel this my whole life. So I experienced ego lifting as well, which I learned my lesson the hard way. So please, if you take one thing, don't ego lift when you're doing big skills, because you will regret that for a long time, if not for the rest of your life. So be careful, because you only have one body, so treat it with as much safety and respect as you can do. A good thing I always do is analyze a certain skill I want to learn. For example, again, the Maltese. If I want to learn Maltese, I'm gonna look up the proper technique for how to execute a Maltese. This way you know what the proper technique is, and when you're gonna condition or you're gonna attempt it, you know what the proper technique is, so you can incorporate that into your trainings, so you get good and fast and safe progress. So that's it. These were the 5 tips. If you incorporate them, I can promise you, you will get faster progress. I hope you find it useful. If you did, maybe consider subscribing to the channel and giving the video a like, and even turn on post notifications and leave a comment. I read all the comments, so let me know if you're struggling with anything, if you want me to make a video about another topic, about my own experience. So I would love to do that. Hope this was helpful for you. See you in the next one. Peace out.